What are you a black belt at? Everyone is a black belt at something and we only seem to equate stuff like black belts towards martial arts. I mean, you can be a black belt at anything else outside of martial arts as well. Like a guy I know called Jimmy, he is a black belt at painting. One day I found a karate white belt in some bins and I plucked it out and I started playing around with it. Now I have been doing part-time work in some way takeaway, and when I took the white belt into the takeaway, it had turned black. I was a black belt at working at this takeaway. Then when Jimmy wore it and he started painting, the white belt turned into a black belt as he was a black belt at painting. It was incredible. Then I found a guy who said that he was a black belt at everything. I thought that was impossible, but then he took me to a building site, and the white belt around him turned black. So he was a black belt at construction, and I thought that was cool, which meant that he was good with his hands. He can build houses, it seems. Then we went to some bin site and the white belt around him turned black. So he was a black belt at being a bin man as well. Working at bin sites is a tough job, and he was the first person that I had found who was a black belt at two things. Then when I asked him whether he could build me a house, he straight up said no. Then when I asked him to fix a few things around my flat for cash money, he agreed, but he did a terrible job at it. I was confused by this as the white belt had turned black when he stepped onto the construction site area. Then when he took me around in his taxi car doing odd delivery jobs, the white belt turned black. So he was a black belt at being a delivery taxi driver. So he was a black belt at three things. He was a terrible delivery driver though, as he couldn't find places or even drive well, so how could he be a black belt at this profession? Then a couple of days later, police found a body at the construction site that he took me to. They also found a body at the bin site that he took me to, and they even found body parts in the boot of his car. Then I realized that he was a black belt at serial killing.